Welcome to another episode of that Worship Guitar Show, brought to you by worshipguitarskills.com with me, Shal Katsia, and the WGS team. You'll discover how to go from a frustrated to fluent worship guitarist without having to practice for hours on end or even spend thousands of dollars on new gear. We'll help you unleash your true potential so you can make the most of the gifts and talents you've been entrusted with, and finally grow into the amazing worship guitar player you've been destined to become. Welcome, and let's get started. Hey, welcome guys. Awesome to be back with everybody again. We had a break last week, so I'm back again this week. Great to see everybody. Let me go ahead and pull up the comments so I can see where you guys are tuning in from. So if you're just tuning in live, please let me know where you are tuning in from, and then we'll get this show right on the road. All right, fantastic. So today we're going to be talking about some important techniques, and I'm going to be talking about the importance of actually developing your technique, and we're going to talk about some of the emotional side of playing as it relates to worship guitar. And technique is really one of the things that can wreak some havoc if that's not in place. So I'm looking forward to diving deep into that. So we've got Larry Simonis tuning in from Illinois. Good morning, Larry. Great to see you. We've got Harley Bob tuning in from upstate New York. Welcome, welcome. We've got Lazarus saying good morning, everyone, checking in from Michigan. We've got Eddie Satterfield tuning in from Tennessee. Welcome, Eddie. Great to see you again. And we've got XYZ Mon. Good morning from Michigan. And then we've got James Woodley. Good morning from North Carolina. Wow, the US is really representing here today. Welcome, guys. It's great to see you. I know that you've got a time change coming up in the not too distant future. So I think that's going to make us an hour closer to each other, which, if my math is correct, so that's going to be good. So fall forward, or what do they say? Fall backwards, spring forward. So that means if you're going into springtime, you're coming forward, which is closer to us here in South Africa. We don't have time savings, so that's going to be good. Brings us closer together. Even that hour makes a bit of a difference. And we've got Tim tuning in from Texas. Welcome, Tim. And then XYZ Mon tuning in from the east side, north of Metro Detroit area. Awesome. Well, guys, welcome. Really great to see everybody. For those still tuning in, please let us know where you are dialing in from. Always great to see the spread of worshipers across the globe, and it's always really encouraging just to see that there's people like yourself all over the world placing an emphasis on developing your skills. As the Bible says that we must play skillfully on the stringed instruments. It says we must sing unto the Lord a new song. It says God is searching to and fro, looking for true worshipers who will worship him in spirit and in truth. And that's obviously our main focus here. And we know that the guitar, the tones, the pedals, the licks, the techniques, the chords, all those things, that's just a tool that we use to facilitate that job that we have been entrusted with, whether it's leading others into the presence and whether it's just fulfilling our role as true worshipers. So we've got Kenan tuning in from J-Bay, South Africa, a few doors down. So welcome to Kenan as well. Kenan and Jacobus and Brad and Lisa Marie and Christy and Kelly and Amy. So we've got a whole team behind here. You guys mostly to see my face here, but we've got a wonderful team that helps us with all the things happening behind the scenes. So super thankful for them. And maybe we'll do a video, introduce everybody to you guys as well. All right, fantastic. Well, we're talking about essential techniques today. And the thing is, that feeling when you're on stage, you're about to play, you know how to play, but you get kind of nervous a little bit. Are you going to make a mistake? Do you know the song, or maybe they changed the key last minute, or you didn't have enough time to prepare all of the songs for whatever reason. And that slight state of nervousness or anxiety or whatever the case may be, that actually is in a way, it's a little bit debilitating because you're not playing at your full potential. And I'm not talking the potential that you are able to play if you were to put in hours of practice. I'm just talking about the skills, the way that you can play when you are relaxed, when you're not on stage or the spotlight's not on you, or you don't have to start a song or whatever the case may be, and you're just having fun. without the stress and the strain of whatever might lead to some performance anxiety or whatever the case may be, you're not able to make full access of your skills and abilities. That's why we want to develop our technique, because it allows us to play with confidence and with conviction and without fear of making mistakes. And we know how the Bible, how many times it says to fear not, right? And it's obviously, there's many reasons for that, but it applies to playing guitar. Fear not. So you want to get to a space and a place where you can pick up your guitar confidently and play without being fearful. Because in 1 Timothy it talks about, don't be timid, right? We've been given a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. So you want to play guitar from that way. And how does it work? Well, there's a physical side to it. Like, we all live in bodies here, right? On earth, we do physical things. And we can do that as acts of service, right? So that's the way that you're going to work in your technique. So that's a little sales pitch over there in terms of like why you want to do and work on technique and develop that. So a lot of guitar players might say, sure, but what technique must I work on? Is it learning chromatic scales or chromatic exercises? Is it doing sweep picking? Is it working on strumming? Is it whatever? Well, there are some techniques that you don't have to worry about, like finger tapping or sweep picking. If you're into that style of playing, totally cool, but you're hardly ever going to use that stuff in church. So the challenge that we face for most church musicians is what are the techniques that you need to use in church? Because if you can spend time learning sweep picked arpeggios, but you're not really going to use that in a modern worship setting. And you can spend time learning the super Locrian scale and learning some crazy superimpositions and all that kind of stuff, but you're not really going to use it in a real world scenario playing modern worship. So what are those techniques that are important? Well, I thought I'd play a little bit for us today, and then we can see what those techniques might be. And I'm going to break some of that down for you guys. If you have any questions around any of these things as it relates to the technique or whatever, feel free to comment in the questions box there. If you can start it with Q:, I'd be able to quickly see, what the question is and who asked it and whatever the case may be. And we can go ahead and address that. We've got Skalk also tuning in from South Africa, so it's great to see another fellow South African. Hey Skalk, welcome. Skalk is tuning in from Randburg, so that's in about, I would say, 13 hours or so from where we're at. So I'm glad to see Skalk tuning in. All right, so what techniques do we need to have down? Well, as we know, on the guitar we've got notes. And those notes will make up chords. So if you're going to be playing different chords, you want to be able to play your chords nice and clean when it comes to picking the notes that they're actually going to stand out. And I'll go ahead and jam over one or two songs here that we can make it practical for us today. So let's see, if we were to do Set of Fire, that's a very simple song with some simple chords, and I'll just do a little bit of a jam here real quick, and then I'll show you some of the techniques that I'm using to play some of these things. And then afterwards, of course, we can break it down. So that was me just having a jam and just demonstrating. So remember, this is a teaching channel. We are teaching the art of playing worship guitar. So sometimes I'll play more stuff than what I would normally do on a Sunday, but purely since we want to place an emphasis on teaching, and the guitar might be louder than it would be in a mix in the church, but it's so that we can, for teaching purposes. So let's go ahead and unpack some of that. But before we do that, let me just welcome a few more folks. We've got Sam tuning in from Finland. Hey Sam, great to see you. We've got Aaron tuning in from the country of Alabama. That's great. Awesome. Great to see you, Aaron. We've got Darren, a familiar face here. Hey, Darren from North Carolina. Great to see you. And then we've got a comment here from Tim. So let's go ahead and dive into Tim's comment. And then I'm going to start breaking down some of the things that I played and some of the techniques involved in order to play those different things. So Tim is saying, right off the bat, one thing I notice with most things you play and teach is that you rarely play more than 3 notes at a time. I found this works well in the band context, especially with distortion. Yeah, so Tim, that's a great observation. And it's really, most of the time what happens is the guitar can tend to get lost in the mix in church. Because there could be 2 guitars, there could be 1 or 2 keyboards, acoustic guitar, bass, lots of backing vocals, lead vocals, drummers, and sometimes you have a violin or a different instrument or whatever. So it's a very full sound. So I tend to like these voicings, and we call them 4/2 voicings. I'm going to show you this on the guitar shortly as well. And I sometimes feel like a bit of a broken record playing these, but they are just so useful. And what I like about them is, like Tim says, they cut through the mix. So if I play C to an F to an A minor to an F, so that sounds great to my ears. It really cuts through the mix. If I do another song like there's a song called This I Believe, we'll look into that a little bit today as well, but just listen to this. If I play, for example, this is F, A minor, G, C, so that is very melodic. Or if I play something like, etc. So I like that for the melodic quality that it has. Now, if I were to play that Set of Fire that we just did earlier, I could play like this, so like C to F to A minor, back to F. So you can definitely do that as well. But for me, my personal style of playing, it loses some of that maneuverability, and it loses some of the melodic content. That's one reason I like them. Another reason is it's a great way to learn the guitar neck with just 2 notes, because all of these shapes I use is literally just 2 shapes. So let's see, if we go back to that Set of Fire, I'm going to show you guys something cool here. This should be able to see what I'm seeing there right now, which is, as we can see, it's C, F, A minor, F. Those are my chords, and it's literally just these simple shapes the whole time. So with the guitar, if I play this as C to F, let me see if I can move that camera for us a little bit, and I just need to open up to see if our sound is good there. So I'm just going to make one little adjustment to this guitar here. Let's just have a look. I believe it's going to be this one, yeah. So we just move it a little bit so you can actually see what I'm playing there. Okay, so going back to this. This is a C, F, A minor, but then I can also go to this, C, F, A minor, and then F, and I can also go there, C, F, and then A minor, and then F again. So you can see between these, here I'm at kind of a high area of the neck. But I can also go to the middle area, or I can go to the low area. So that's important to know your shapes across the guitar neck. So that's what I've got there. And if we were just to look at this one, for example, let's look at some of the techniques that I used. I use articulation a fair bit, which is like instead of just playing C, with those two notes, I might hammer on to a note from just before that. So I might do this. So it's a nice way to bring in like a melodic touch, or so there's two techniques that's important here. And let's go back to the comments just in case I'm missing anything over there. The two techniques that are important is articulation, because the Bible says, sing unto the Lord a new song. And what do singers do? They articulate. They have different ways in which they shape their notes, in the way that they sing notes, or the way that they use their mouth to shape a note, or to bend into a note, or to scoop into it, or to whatever. So it's articulation. It's talking with emotion and emotive intent. So things like hammer-ons, slides, bends, vibrato, all those kind of things, articulation techniques, very important. So you definitely want to work on those. I'll go ahead and show you some of that in a little bit. And then I really like hybrid picking, because if we think of a piano player, they don't play like this, bang, 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 bang the whole time. They'll play a chord and then they'll do some nice arpeggiating, which means it's breaking up the chord and they're picking separate notes. Now you can do arpeggios on the guitar, in this instance, right? But I'm saying break up the chord. Instead of playing everything together, I'm playing. Picking, and I'm doing my pick for the low note and my middle finger. So between my pick and my fingers, I can get some nice sounds. Let's see, Tim is saying, and he's talking about something that we can mention here in a little bit as well. He says, as an older guitarist, I've learned to appreciate the simple and practical. Your 4/2 voicings exemplify that perfectly, and I've also been working on spread triads. So what the spread triads that Tim is referring to over here is like if I play a C like this, I can play F like this, I can play A minor like this, and then I can go back to F, do A minor, F, and if I have a big ambient tone, I can go C, F, A minor, F, C, C over E, F, G, A minor 7, or just A minor, F, F over C, C. So these are other shapes that I'm doing here, but can you see how I'm using hybrid picking? My pick, like this, and my fingers. Whether I play the big spread voicings Tim was mentioning. When you learn to use hybrid picking, you are able to be more selective with what you play. Now I can, if I play, and I'll maybe just quickly demo this for us, if I go to this big section in Set of Fire, I can strum, and I'm going to talk about another technique there as well, but look at what happens when I go from strumming to picking. I'll do both for us here, so let's check this out. So what happened there is, when I'm strumming, I'm still only playing the 2 notes. I added a few notes in here and there. I'll show you what they were as well. But when I go C, so that's an open triad, the spread triad. But can you see string muting is important technique there? Because we want to play, we don't want to play timidly. Now, if I don't mute my strings, I'm going to get a horrible sound. I'm going to get this. Does not sound good. If you're afraid that that's what's going to come out when you play with a dirty tone like this, you're going to play fearfully and timidly. But when your string muting is on point, you can say, all right, cool, I'm going to play all 6 strings here. Now that's, it sounds a bit messy there because my sound, I probably wouldn't strum that intensely with that much delay, but I'm showing you when I have my string muting intact, which is another technique, I can play with more confidence. I don't have to worry about unwanted notes ringing out. So that's my other technique. What have we spoken about so far? The hammer-ons, slides, bends, vibrato, and pull-offs. So when I play the melody here, can you see I'm not picking every note? I'm not playing. That's too much. Instead, I'm picking some, and then I'm hammering, or A pick, pull, pick, pick. Actually, not this, only one pick. Pick, hammer, pull, hammer. So when I don't play all the notes with a pick, I get rid of the attack. And when I get rid of the attack, I get more of a legato feel, which means it's smooth and connected. It's not short and detached. Now, there are times when you might want to do a short and detached type of thing, which I'll quickly show you. Like this. Alright, so there I want to be short and detached. I want to play. Then I like that staccato-ness, but other times I want to have. I want more of a smooth and legato feel. Those are two different techniques. The one had a lot of muting involved, string muting, so that when I pick, you only hear the notes that I want you to hear, and the rest are muted, or when I strum, the notes are muted. So that's our techniques so far. Articulation, which is where instead of picking all the notes, you articulate. You hammer on, you pull off, you slide, you use vibrato to emulate the human voice. Articulation, technique 1. Technique 2, string muting, so that when it's time to strum, you can strum without fear of bad notes ringing out. And then hybrid picking, it allows you to have more of a piano approach to your playing. It allows you to be a little bit more vocal. So those are the three techniques I'd like to highlight for you today. String muting, articulation, and hybrid picking. Along with these 4/2 voicings, we've got many videos on the channel about the 4/2s. Yes, like Tim is mentioning here, even just those 4/2 voicings, if I go to my close-up camera here, if I just add a bass note, I can really fatten it out. Here's another 4/2. I add another bass note, and it sounds really great. Or here's another 4/2, which is this one there, and I just add the. And then we have a whole video on the channel about this, but then without the bass note, it would just sound like this. With the bass note, that's what string muting allows me to do, and hybrid picking. And so you've seen a lot of these techniques in action today. So guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll do another bit of playing for us on another song. We've got Donald tuning in from, also looks like North Carolina. Welcome, Donald. And Oscar Garcia tuning in from, hey Charles, thanks for your teaching about, let's see where he's tuning in from. I would not be able to pronounce your city, but he's tuning in from Mexico. Now, I will not try and pronounce the city there. Oscar, great. I'll Google it afterwards. I'll get a phonetically written out version of that city. But yeah, great to see someone tuning in from Mexico. Welcome, Oscar. Great to have you. So those are the techniques. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We are busy working through a challenge with our members at the Worship Guitar Skills Academy. And that's where all of these shapes are coming from. So as you can see here, the different things that we've just mentioned. And I can actually show you another one, which is a song called This I Believe. I'll do a bit of a jam for us on that one. But what you can see in front of you right now is there the chords are 4, 6, 5, 1. So that's 4, F, A minor, G, C, F, A minor, G. So I'm using those 2-note voicings and the hybrid picking. Let's go up higher on the neck. Let me just have a look here. Did that change? Yes, there we go. So let me just, I just need to make one little tweak, but that's okay. So F, A minor, G, C, F, A minor, G, and I can also do it like this, which will be F, A minor, G, C, F, A minor, G. So you can see my techniques in action, which in essence is really just the 4/2 voicings with hybrid picking. So let me go ahead and play a bit of that song for us. And I believe the section that we are referring to there, let me just double check. 4, 6, 5, 1, which is what we've got there, 4, 6, 5, 1. It's basically the verse. The chorus is slightly different. And then that's the bridge section. So I think if we jam over the bridge section, we'll put a bit of a loop on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cycle through these different areas of the guitar neck so you can see how and where they are happening. So this I believe in the key of C. We'll loop that section. Faster changes. Obviously I looped some sections there for quite a bit, but can you see there's times that I might be down here And I might want to have a big strum like this. Or there's times I go up here maybe, and then it's more picking. Take it even higher, which is then you can strum it, etc. So it's all about knowing your voicings on the guitar and then using the that we've just used so far, which was basically string muting, hybrid picking, articulation, all of that with 2-note voicings, of which there are only 3 shapes. So I've literally just used 3 shapes and 3 types of techniques: string muting, hybrid picking, articulation. So hopefully that's useful for you guys to see what you can do with those. Let's go ahead and answer a few more questions. Tim is saying, do you think there's a place for more complex harmony in worship guitar, like 9ths, 11ths, etc., if the voicing is simple? Yes, I do think so. What I like to do sometimes, and let's see if we can do this, we might be able to do it with a track here. So for example, I'll play us a 1-4 progression in the key of G, and I'll do a close-up for us here. So the key is G. Now normally if you just do 4-2, it's going to be G like this and C like that. But for example, you can take a G triad and then take this note and play it as like an 11th. So in that case, I've got an 11th. I can do it up here as well. So instead of playing G, I can play G like this. And then for the C, I can go like instead of playing that C, I could try it like that. I can do, then I can add a 9th. So what I'm going to do is I'll play this. Here's my G 11th. And then a C add 9. Or I can do G over here. And then C sus 9. So those are the voicings I'll go ahead and use. So first I'll do 4 2s, and then I'll throw in some of these additional voicings like you just mentioned. I didn't do any 13ths there, but I had a 9th and I had 11ths like you mentioned. So let's check it out. Just simple 4-2. Bring in some of these other sounds. Check this out. So this is a 9th and an 11th. Simple 4 2s again with hybrid picking. And again the 9th. etc. So hopefully that kind of shed some light. You can totally use some of those voicings. The thing to note that it's not the standard 11th voicing you'd be used to hearing like this, or it's not the standard 9th voicing you might hear in jazz like F9 or F13, but instead it's triads that I just add an 11th, or it's a triad that I'm adding 9th. So that's wonderful approach to go ahead and tweak some of the triads there. So thanks for asking that. We've got now Euro asking, do I know Alip Bata? I don't. So if you want to send me a link, feel free to do that. It's always great hearing of other artists, but unfortunately I'm not aware of that, if that is an artist. Hey, Manuel, one of our members here, tuning in, saying string muting and palm muting is my weakness. Yes, if you work on string muting, you'll find that it's definitely going to help you a ton. And we've got a video for everybody that wants to know about that. We'll post a video to string muting in the description over here that we've done, which will really help you just to kind of show you how do you do that string muting. And then, yeah, that'll really help you. And then Manuel is saying, and dialing in my tone when it comes to delay, reverb, and distortion. That is also important to have that tone dialed in. Because if you don't have the right tone and the right technique, and maybe if you don't quite understand the theory behind why we do what we do, then that could easily kind of lead to that state of anxiety when we want to play on a Sunday. So, these are things that I would definitely recommend working on. And Manuel saying, thanks for the email. Thanks for sending over the pics of Micah. Some of the members, we keep praying for you and for Micah. And we still have people watching our live stream from last time and leaving comments, praying for a miraculous healing for Micah. So we're sending a lot of love and God's healing power and trusting together with you for total healing. So thank you for dialing in, and thanks for sending the pictures. It was great to see Micah. He definitely looks like a strong warrior, and we pray that you guys will sense God throughout this process, and that you will be together. We are expectant with you and full of hope for healing for little Micah there. So thanks for sharing that. It was great to see. Thank you, Manuel. So yes, guys, there we go. That's it. Another live stream coming to an end here. These are the techniques that we use often, or that I use often. Now, that is not mutually exclusive. I don't just use these voicings, but I tend to use them a lot because of how useful they are. And maybe we'll play out with Reckless Love. That song has a great groove. It uses the same chords over and over. It's 6-5-4-1. I don't have a chart for this like I did for the other two, but this is in G flat. And most people, when they see that song in G flat, then they can it can evoke some anxiety, because what's that? For example, if I just look at the chords, it's basically G flat. That's in the key of G flat, right? And then so they talk about E flat minor, D flat minor, and C flat, or not D flat minor, but C flat. So it's all flat keys, but I'm going to use these same 2-note voicings just to jam through that. And we've got someone tuning in from Bulgaria. Welcome, great to see you. Love the timeline there. I had one of those, or not the Big Sky, I had one of those. It's a great pedal. And then Tim saying, hopefully you wouldn't mind other teaching material, but Troy Stetina's lead guitar primer book taught me string muting as well. Yeah, so obviously, in fact, I also looked, I had that book many years ago, from more of the metal approach, and then string muting and palm muting is definitely important there. So yeah, that's a great resource to check that out too. So if I had to play in G flat, I might just take the guitar tuned down a half step. So which is yeah, that's true. So I'm gonna jam this now, but I want to show you, and I'll quickly just go back to this. this is not G flat, but these voicings, as you can see them over there, that is exactly what I'm using in this song. So I'm gonna just off the cuff play through this. We don't have any chords to look at, but just so you know, it's 6-5-4-1. But because of the way that I've kind of in my mind done the breakdown of the song, it's just easier for me to look at it like that. So let's check out the volume, make sure that the volume is all right. And I'm just gonna jam through this, but I want to show you as a teaching experiment here. I'm not playing any new chords. I'm just shifting those chords. You've already seen me. I'm just shifting them down the neck. And let's see what we can come up with here using those same techniques. String muting, articulation, and hybrid picking. So 6, 5, 4. Same voicings as before, right? Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. And I could even just swell one note of those voicings. Now for a down chorus, maybe some hybrid picking. Do something else here. When I was your fault, still your love fought for me. You have been so good. Just one note. Back to our 4/2s. Now the song is going to pick up here a little bit. So just picked a song in a really random key, which is G flat. You don't get to see that often, and I will obviously play that in different ways on a Sunday, but I just wanted to show you how those same voicings and those same techniques can go ahead and apply to a song like that. So hopefully all of that stuff is making sense to you guys in terms of the techniques that you can go ahead and work on. And there's so much that you can do with just those 4/2 voicings, string muting, hybrid picking, and articulation. So that's all I got for you today. I hope it was a useful lesson and a good session. Go ahead and work on those things. We'll go ahead and post a video to the string muting as soon as this live is over. I'll post it in the description of this live stream. And so if you want to work on your string muting, you can go ahead and check those out. And so it was great being here with you guys. For those just tuning in, Snow Coach Adventures tuning in from, I believe, the US there as well. So good morning, brother. Great to see you. I'm grabbing some coffee there. That's a good start to the morning for sure. So for those of you just tuning in, we're about to hop off, but the replay is available here for you, together with all the videos on the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Great to, see everybody live here again today. We're going to try and go live on our Instagram page at the same time as this next week. We tried that today, but there were some technical difficulties. So I'm looking forward to coming back again with more videos. Be on the lookout next week, Tuesday. Kenan is doing a video on his pedal board. So we know a lot of you guys are asking about, like, what does it look like in terms of tones and gear and all that kind of stuff. So Kenan's got a cracker of a video coming on Tuesday. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notifications when we release new videos or when we go live with lessons like this. And our goal here really is, of course, we have things that you can buy and you can invest in some of our training, but really my heart is I want the free stuff to be put out on this channel to be better than most of the paid stuff out there, you know, so that for those of you who want to improve your worship guitar skills, that literally all you need is a guitar and time, and then with the lessons and the things that we do here, you can go ahead and improve your skills. And then for those of you who want to support us or want to become a member of our Worship Guitar Skills Academy, of course, you can do that as well. You can just go to worshipguitarskills.com. Somewhere there's going to be a link to the course store if you want to invest further. But ultimately, there's so much stuff on YouTube here. So I hope that you guys are able to get some useful instruction here and go ahead and level up your worship guitar skills. So Darren is saying, thanks, Charles. Have a great weekend. We appreciate your mentorship. Well, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks for all the support. And it's really awesome spending time here on two things that we are all passionate about. Number one is obviously guitar, but the most important thing will be our love for God and worship and being able to lead others and draw them into those times of refreshing. So what an honor and a privilege. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you on the next one. Have an awesome rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.